I'm talking about the Eliquis versus Warfarin. So why you some people take Eliquis or Abixaban versus Warfarin? So when you go to Google and you just search for it, Eliquis versus Warfarin, and you will have about 600,000 results. Okay, so for the first few one, you can find some quick information why they choose Eliquis versus Warfarin or vice versa. So the first one from myheart.net, uh, they say Eliquis is shorter acting than Warfarin. Excuse me. So Eliquis is shorter acting than Warfarin, and the blood thinner effect is quicker gain or loss after about 24 hours. Eliquis rarely requires breaching because it is shorter acting and can be safely stopped a day or two before any medical procedure or surgery. Yeah, so it's Eliquis image and the Warfarin image here. It's not always the case. It is just uh, general information. I've been working for the anti-coag clinic for many years. So yes, Eliquis, you have to take one twice a day. Whereas the Warfarin or Coumadin, you take one tablet, one dose a day. So it have a longer half-life and it take a longer time to get to the peak effect and get into stable state. So usually Warfarin take 3 to 5 days to start working in your body when you just start Warfarin. And then it take 1 to 2 weeks to get to the beach. Like the peak. And then it become a stable state after 2 weeks or so. Eliquis is just similar to the Lovenox injection or enoxaparin injection. So Eliquis is the fifth dose medication. Either take 5 milligrams twice a day or 2.5 milligrams twice a day for certain patients. So it works every 12 hours medication. You should take same time every day, every 12 hours, and then the Warfarin the same time every, every 24 hours. Eliquis is very expensive medication compared to Warfarin. Eliquis, even though you have a copay, it is very expensive, like $500 per month, and then about 1,000 or more for 90-day supply. Either Warfarin is like $10 for 3 months or so, so it's very cheap. Eliquis is a new medication. I think it's available since 2018 or so, or 2017 until now. It's been studied and it shows that the Eliquis is effective just like Warfarin. And for elderly people, it may be convenient. They don't have to go with the confused dosing with Warfarin. Eliquis just take one tablet, fixed dose twice a day. So it may be best for a lot of patients, especially elderly people. Um, Warfarin is very complicated in dosing. Some day you need to take one tablet, some day you need to take half tablet. It's a weekly dose, but you have to take every day. It's so very complicated. Another advantage of Eliquis is diet. Warfarin might be affected by the vitamin K foods like greens, vegetables like kale, cucumbers, spinach, broccoli, things like that might affect warfarin. If you eat more vitamin K food, it may make the iron level go down. And if you eat less vegetable, it makes the iron level go up. So yeah, must be stable with vitamin K foods every day. Eliquis is not affected by vitamin K foods, so most of people happy with that. They don't have to watch for their diet. And another advantage of Eliquis compared to Warfarin, Eliquis doesn't require close monitoring. Okay, some people, if you are over 75 and you have normal kidney function, normal liver function, you only required to test your blood, every 6 months. So, and then for Warfarin, you have the maximum they can extend the follow-up is 6 weeks. Okay, so 6 weeks you need to come back to get the INR test, your blood test, to make sure your warfarin level is not too high or not too low. When the INR too low, it means you don't have enough warfarin in your body. When INR too high, it means you have too much warfarin in your body. It may cause bleeding. So that's why they have to test your INR level frequently. If you are stable, your INR very stable, then you can come back in 6 weeks. But if your INR level is not stable, you have to come back frequently, like weekly or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on your INR level. If your INR level at critical, it means it's too high, like 5.0 or 6. Then you might need to hold warfarin and come back in 3 days or 2 days, things like that. But Eliquis is not frequent follow-up or test. No test required to make sure the Eliquis is enough in the body. No, we don't have that test. That test is very expensive and is no required. For the side effect, somehow, and then for elderly patient, Eliquis may be better than Warfarin because they don't confuse. They are not confused with the dosage. So if they take the Eliquis with the instructed dose, then they have no problem with the bleeding. But for warfarin, sometimes they confuse with the dose, and then they may take a wrong dose, and it will cause bleeding. That's one of the reasons. The second, based on the study, Eliquis may be better in terms of stomach bleeding compared to warfarin for the elderly patient. And then the Eliquis is like I say, it's just like low enough injection, so you don't have to be rich before the surgery because you may only need to hold for 2 days prior to the major surgery or procedure. But depend on the kidney function. If you have a bad kidney function, then uh, you need to hold more than 2 days, like 3 or 4 days, depend on your kidney function, you know. And the Eliquis, they only need to monitor the side effect, which is they need to bleeding. So they need to test your complete blood count to make sure the hemoglobin is not too low. If the hemoglobin too low, it means you might have some kind of internal bleeding. Then you need to pay attention on Eliquis, and then you need to go to see a doctor, the stomach doctor, to make sure it's not caused by the Eliquis. And then you need to check your when you're on blood thinner medication, you need to check your stool and your urine frequently to make sure any kind of bleeding. Check your skin to see if any abnormal bruising. Those things that you need to pay attention, and you need to avoid any physical activity that easily cause fall. So those things need to be careful when you're on any kind of blood thinner medication. So Eliquis generally is maybe better than warfarin in terms of side effect, and then it's more convenient than warfarin because the dose is a fixed dose and they're not required to um, test frequently, and they're not and the diet, vegetables, greens uh, do not affect Eliquis. So more convenient, and it might be better in terms of side effect for some people. The disadvantage is it's so expensive. Some insurance, some healthcare insurer, they don't pay for it. So you need to work out with your health insurance to make sure they cover. And if somebody worry about their therapeutic or their how the Eliquis work in their body, how do they want to know if enough Eliquis in the body or not. So if for some people like that, they might stick with warfarin. They don't want to try the medication. You know, if not, uh, it does not need the blood test to make sure it's not too low or too high like warfarin. And some people need to take Eliquis with a lower dose, like 2.5 milligrams twice a day. No people because they over 80 years old, and their weight is under 132 pounds, things like that. If they have those two factors, then they require to take a lower dose. If their kidney function, if their creatinine lesser than greater than 2.5, then probably they need to take a lower dose. For certain people, like people on dialysis, they may be not the best candidate for the Eliquis. They should stick with Warfarin. So, if you have any further question or concern about if you are taking any platinum medication, then please let me know in the comment below.